Yo, 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 it's your boy Derek, the Dopest Detailer, coming at you today with another episode of the Dopest Detailer. Today's episode is going to be about pricing and big vehicles in particular. And when I say big vehicles, I mean vehicles that we're not used to doing every day. So sometimes you might get somebody might come and say, hey, I need this tractor or this bulldozer cleaned up. You get all kinds of crazy requests to get things done. So, somebody might come to you and say, hey, I need to have this 18-wheeler detailed or this dump truck detailed, RV detailed. And, those things are hard to price because those aren't things that you do every day, especially if you're in the doing regular cars, SUVs, pickup trucks, and things like that. Most people don't have that service on their menu for the bigger vehicles, such as RVs, tractor trailers, bulldozers, dump truck, work equipment, things like that. So that always brings forth a problem when it comes to pricing because that's not something you're used to doing every day. So you need to figure out, well, how do I price for this? And I always say, when you get into big vehicles or different types of vehicles that aren't on your menu, as a rule of thumb, always remember it comes down to your time. You don't have that priced out already for what you're going to charge for that particular vehicle or equipment. So when you go at it from that way, then you can start to say, okay, well, if I'm going to price this out based on my time, you say, well, how do I do that? Well, it's a system. The way I've come up with it anyway, I've created a system for myself. And what I do is I go back to my basic wash service. What's my least expensive wash service and how long does it take to do? Well, it takes me about an hour to do my most basic service. So off that most basic service, let's just say I charge $75 for that basic service. So now my timing is $75 an hour. I can do that all day long because I know what it is that I'm going to charge. So if I'm doing a regular wash, it's $75. If I'm doing a mini detail, it's $150. If I'm doing a full detail, that's going to take me 4 hours. So if a regular wash takes me an hour, a mini detail takes me 2 hours, a full detail takes me 4 hours. So you just do the math. So if it's 4 hours, it's going to be $300, $75 an hour. 4 hours, $300. Starting based on the condition of the cars and so forth and so on. But my starting number is going to be $300 based on what my hourly rate is, which is $75 an hour. As it pertains to the big equipments and the things that we're not used to doing and we have to give somebody a price for it, again, it comes down to what is the least expensive option on your menu and how much do you charge. That's how you get your hourly rate. So let's just say my hourly rate is $75. Like I said, if you get into a job and you say, okay, for instance, I have to do an RV today. Me personally, I have to go and do, it's an RV / vehicle hauler. This guy is heavy into racing cars and stuff. So he carries his car inside of this big custom RV that he actually can live out of. So I have to go by and I have to wash it. Wash and spray wax it. So I know it's going to take me anywhere between I work by myself, so it's going to take me anywhere between 6 to 8 hours. This is how I'm coming up with my number for this particular situation. So I automatically say it's going to take me on a low end 6 hours, on a high end 8 hours. So on a low end, it's going to cost $450. On a high end, it's going to cost $600. Okay. So now I got a ballpark: 600 high, 400 low. Even trying to figure out how to price out high and low. There's a strategy to that. Let me stick to this one thing for you real quick. So if I'm going to go with the low end, let's call it $450. Now I have to take into account the client that I'm dealing with. Again, it's just a regular wash. It's a spray wax. This client doesn't know that I'm basing my price on my hourly service. This is how I come up with a number for myself. So I'm not telling them this is what I'm charging per hour. This is just what it is. This is for you to try to figure out how to price different equipment out for yourself. So what I do is I say, okay, well, if I'm only going to low end, 450, I know the client. I kind of know what the client is going to pay or not pay. At that point, I can say, well, my starting number is 450. If I want to work something off of that, I can as a discount for them, or if I want to add something on it based on the condition of the vehicle, I can. Again, these are your estimates, and this is a ballpark between $450 to $600. It'll take me anywhere from 6 to 8 hours to do it. Like I said, you have to gauge the client that you're dealing with. You know who's going to spend what. You get a feel for people, and you kind of know what number is going to scare who, or what number is people are more inviting to and welcome to. But you have to be comfortable with your pricing as well. You got to be fair, but it has to make sense for both you and your client. Because I always tell people, a happy detailer is a well-paid detailer. And if you don't price it out the right way, you're not going to be happy, and it's going to show in your work. So make sure you price it out in a way that's going to make you comfortable. Like I said, I work by myself, so I got a lot of wiggle room on the numbers that I can play with and the discounts that I can give or not give. It's all up to you. And again, look at the situation that you get into, and based on how big the job is, now it comes down to your time. It's always been about your time. Detailing is a time and numbers game. You have to be compensated for your time. You're here to get a job done a specific amount of time, so you can move on to the next job and get that done in a specific amount of time, and so forth and so on. So it's all about the timing. When you get these big jobs that you're not used to, and you don't have a set price for these types of jobs, just revert back to how long does it take you to do your lowest service, which is usually a wash. If it takes you, if that's your wash, takes you an hour, and you charge $45, whatever. That's where your numbers are at. So you say, okay, I charge $45 for a wash. It's going to take me, 6 to 8 hours to do this vehicle. That's a full day's work. This is what I'm going to charge for it. So that's how you get your numbers. Another thing, how you base your high and lows, you base that off of the day of the week. If you're in the detailing, you've been doing this thing, you understand that every day isn't the same. You're not going to have a good day every day. Your Mondays and your Tuesdays might be your slowest days. They might be your fastest days. But whatever day you book it on, that's going to let you know right there. So say, for instance, if I took this job, today is Monday. If I took this job on a Friday, I would go with the high end number, because I know what I would make on a Friday if working by myself. And then once like I said, the low end was 450, the high end is 600. Again, these are just estimates that I'm throwing out. These are just numbers that I'm throwing out to you. Whatever your numbers is, or whatever your numbers are, is what they are. So again, if I was doing it on a Friday, I wouldn't go with the low end number, because I know that on a Friday I would make more than $450. So if I'm doing it on a Friday, I'm gonna start out at my high end, which would be the 600. And depending on what it is and how bad it is and what I have to do to it, again, I can say whether I'm going to add more to it or take away from it. And again, your numbers are your starting costs. This is your estimate. This is what it might be. You might get in there and do the job in 3 hours, but you priced it out for 6 hours, and you only had to do it for 3 hours because it wasn't as bad as you thought it was going to, or it just didn't take you as long as you would have thought it was going to take you, but you had that extra time now to play with. So now it's like, okay, I priced it out at that price based on this amount of time that I thought it was going to take, but I got it, and I got it done way faster than I did, so I got extra time. I can go out and make more money. Again, your low end numbers are usually what you go for on the days that are your slowest, because you probably wasn't going to make that in one day anyway. So it's a day's work. You just try, at that point, the job is big enough, you start looking at the hours and a day's work. How long is it going to take me to do it? How much would I have made today? What is my goal for today? What is my hour? What is my quota for today? And you base it on that. When you do it that way, you're good to go. You can never go wrong. So always base your pricing on big jobs that you don't have on your menu. Base your pricing on a timely schedule. You know how long it's going to take you to do it, and you know the day of the week. If you do that, you're golden. And again, you also have to know the client that you're talking to. Everybody isn't going to pay $450. Everybody isn't going to pay $600. You know, but then you got ones that won't even flinch at $600. They just want it done. You know, and if you bring it out on a Friday and they didn't give you ample time, now that $600 job can easily be $850, $900. You know, depending on who the client is. Again, if it's on a Friday and you know that this person is going to fight you, is going to haggle you about the number, you might have to do it for $500. It all depends on the client. You knowing the client, you understanding the way this individual spends money. And again, like I said, you do it that way, and you're good to go. Listen, I am going to go ahead and get to this rig and do what I need to do. I'm going to have some videos to post. You guys can see it. Listen, please, I can't stress this enough. Subscribe, share, like, tell a friend, comment. Any questions you want to ask, any subjects that you would like for me to talk about. Not wish. I'm not a celebrity. I'm just a detailer, but I'm here to help other detailers, new detailers, old detailers, everybody. So any questions that you would want to suggest that I talk about, or you want to ask me, any topics that you suggest you would like for me to talk about, just put them in the comments. I try to get to my comments as often as I can. I'm going to try to post more than I've been posting before. Like I said, I just got busy, and you know, life got in and started lifing. So then that's a good thing, not a bad thing at all. But again, don't cheat yourself. Understand your value, understand your worth. I don't care how big your company is, how small your company is. At the end of the day, we're here to make money. Our time is valuable. Nobody can tell us what our time is worth. Our time is worth what we're willing to value it as. Everybody's not going to see the value. And, you know, that being said, everybody isn't for you. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get out of here now. But this is Derek, your boy, the dopest detailer. Coming to you live from Philadelphia. If this video has been helpful in any way whatsoever, please like, please share, please comment, please subscribe, please send to other people and have them subscribe. I'm trying to grow my numbers. I'm trying to get this page going. I understand I got to be a little bit more consistent with it, but I'm willing to put in the work and do what I got to do. I'm just asking that you help me help others. Again, I thank you and I appreciate it. Your boy Derek, the dopest detailer. I'm out.